I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So yesterday, I went on a little bit of an adventure, drove down south, mostly to Kingman, Arizona, hiked a trail called Cherim Peak, which is the second tallest mountain in the area. Hualapai Peak. Atham, look it up, is taller than that. That's on the south side of Kingman, Arizona. And it's great. Kind of past 5 years, you start getting reception everywhere now, especially if you're up on a mountain. So I'm just binging on podcasts. My phone almost lost all of its battery power. And I was binging on Raymond Thoughts and Mine, who I strongly recommend you all tune into. I have them linked below. And a little bit of Economics Ethan. Raymond, I would say, is one of the spokespersons for the millennial generation that has his heads out of his ass. Economics Ethan is very interesting and fascinating because he's actually worked in big time corporate finances, said, fuck this. And because if the algorithm has them in the same. So if you're listening to Raymond, you're going to get recommended Economics Ethan, both of which I listened to before, but it was just pleasant. It was pleasant. And I was just enjoying a hike. It was beautiful. And the main reason I can do that, a couple of reasons. One, I'm a minimalist. Okay, fine. I don't buy fancy cars. Okay, fine. But I never got married, never got divorced. And the other thing is I knew enough to get the fuck out of corporate America. It took me a while and I did it, but I did a whole video about how pissed off the boomer bosses are that people are leaving. They're no longer kissing the ring or washing their feet or pledging fealty. I cannot say enough with enough emphasis, a little tongue in cheek, a little funny, ha ha here. Okay, well, deadly serious, black and white, big font. Fuck you, boomer bosses. Eat a bag of dicks. I'm out having fun because I stopped believing in your horse shit. You made the labor market untenable. You made the proposition of employment impossible with you. You have ruined careers for everyone. Careers are no longer tenable. But, and he's not the first because they had the observation before, but Raymond was talking about how the dating market and the labor market are almost the exact same in by no small or sole measure due to HR women disproportionately controlling who they let into the ranks of employment. HR women are excessively picky with all their educational requirements, just as they are in the real world with all their dating requirements of men. And the results are largely the same, where you ain't got nobody and you just have flings and trysts, but no long-term stable employees. And he's not wrong. Notice that correlation, as many of you have, no doubt. But I think it's come to a point that we have to point out the labor market and the institution of marriage are both so anachronistic, so outdated, so obsolete, and the American people in particular are not benefiting from either, that we have to reevaluate whether even their existence. Now, there will always be a labor market, there will always be a marriage or a dating market, or certainly a sexual marketplace. Sex preceded marriage. But for young people going forward, because I can't think of two things you're going to invest more of your time in life in than your career and courtship or dating or marriage or whatever. I don't even call it marriage. Let's just call it courtship and dating, chasing the opposite sex. And the parallels, I think, if we start drawing them together, and again, in no small part are they related to women are largely the determinants of whether, it's Briffault's law. Women will determine whether or not there is a relationship. And because of the inordinate and disproportionate, and I would say wrong, reliance on HR Karens to determine who's coming into the ranks of employment, they will also determine if there's any employment, which is fine because men and competent women, competent employees, just like, I'm not dealing with the HR person. Can't find people. I don't know. How about not having an HR bitch be the first person that interviews them, asking them stupid and inane questions? But neither here nor there. So the main thing why you can't have American marriages and you also cannot have careers anymore is people are just not mature enough in this economy, in this society, especially for marriage. American men and women are just not responsible and mature enough to handle a long-term committed relationship, whether it's a lifetime career at one company or whether it's one person in your sack. We can argue why and debate, all right? But I think given the 50% failure rate of marriages, not to mention the 86% failure rate of marriages when you factor in those that are not happy, 14% are happy. Look it up in my book, The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. Link below if you care. 14% success rate in marriage. And what percentage of careers are even long-term successful after that? The employees, and especially the employers, everyone gets a little bit of blame. I'd say the employers more so. Everyone is too immature to handle this. They're way too immature to handle this. And so I think you should give up on both. There's no reason. All we do is destroy each other, ruin people's careers, ruin people's marriages and relationships. Just knock it off, right? We're not mature enough to handle this. Second, employers love playing mind games. I won't say what the corollary is on the dating side of which group between men and women play mind games. I won't say which because that's just a mystery. You'll never be able to figure that one out. But let's just say a party in each analogy loves them some mind games. Employers love posting fake want ads. Employers love lying about the job. They love doing the bait and switch, right? No group of people in the dating and marriage market do a bait and switch like, I'm going to get in really good shape so you find me attractive, and now I get to pig out. No group of people in the marriage market says, oh my Godsies, let me go sucksies over behind the, at a nightclub party. Oh, I just am all for, oh, we got married now? Okay, no more sex. I won't say which party that is. We're married now. Nom, 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 nom. Big and beautiful. Like a hug up in a Han Solo. Not going to say who the employers are in the marriage market. I'm just saying there's one that does a lot of bait and switch. And you can't have that. You can't have that. You can't be lying to people. You can't have one party lying to another. Now, admittedly, also like the marriage market, the counterparties are kind of lazy, right? They let themselves go too. They don't work as hard. They all major in journalism. They don't show up on time, right? So the employees are, I wouldn't say equally guilty, but they're guilty as well. So now one party's just screwing over the other. But the employers definitely play the mind games. And so I don't know, I don't know where you corporals get the idea that we're going to save money by lying to our employees, our prospective employees. And you wonder why your turnover is so high, why you have no loyalty. It's a tremendous waste of time for both, right? I got to get in shape. She's got to get in shape. We got to go date. Oh my God. I can't imagine what a daunting task that would be as a young, like, let's say I was 27-year-old Cappy. I wanted to get married. I can't imagine the time and effort you boys, and let alone you girls, got to go through dating all the shit and the filth to go find some barely quality marriageable person. I've estimated the percent of marriageable women in a traditional sense. Admittedly, this doesn't mean you're bad people, but just percent of women that are classically marriageable material is less than 3%. And that assumes the girls are saying yes to a date, right? You get rejected the majority of time in both categories, right? You're getting rejected all the time. Send out 1,000 applications. Maybe you get 10 or 15 interviews. How many of those actually lead to sex or actual employment, let alone marriage? It's a lot of time. Oh, don't get me started about you employers requiring absurd, prohibitive levels of education for people like, yeah, I'm not getting a master's degree. Yeah, that master's required. Whoa, I think Raymond talked about it. Now I think about it. He saw in a dating profile, bachelor's required, master's preferred. Don't tell me women aren't disproportionately in charge of the labor market and the dating market. The fuck out of here. Not everyone can get a master's degree. It's overkill. It's overkill. People are wasting too much of their lives and crippling their lives, getting meeting these ridiculous requirements. I won't say who has the ridiculous requirements. 5'11" and a half. Ew, and you're not even an investment banker. Won't say who that is. You see it in the dating profiles and the career. What kind of career you want? I want this, like it's a resume, just the same, and equally unattainable. Both are trying to fuck each other over in both scenarios. Employers are trying to fuck over employees. Employees are trying to fuck over employers. Husbands are trying to fuck over wives. I'd say less so than wives trying to fuck over husbands. It's not getting together to work as a team for each other's mutual benefit. It's adversarial. It's competitive. Rollo talked about that, where men's and women's dating strategies or courtship strategies are adversarial, meaning it is a zero-sum game. It will come at the expense of the other person. Maybe I'm just too pie in the sky, but shouldn't it be mutually beneficial? Hey, you got peanut butter. I got chocolate. Let's get together. Make some Reese's peanut butter cups. Like, that's the whole idea. You hire labor. Hey, I got these machines. I'm the entrepreneur. I own the machine. I ain't got time to deal with it, to run them. I got to deal with the financing. I got to go find labor. I got to deal with whatever government regulation. I got to manage the firm. Hey, you're an employee. Henry Ford did this, by the way, and he paid his employees very well. Why? Because he wanted loyalty. He didn't want the factory to shut down. Like, I need him here. I need him doing a good job. We can't have recalls. Was that over 100 years ago? You modern day car manufacturing fuckwits can't get that through your head. Want to give them an honest deal and a fair price so we mutually benefit. They get a good wage. I make some good profit. We all get good cars. I don't understand on the same side of the marriage debate. Hey, I like you. You like me. Maybe we live for each other, and I'm going to stay in shape, and you're going to stay in shape. We're going to have great sex. Whoa! Whoa! That's as outdated as being loyal to your employer. No, we can't say, well, you're going to pay me. Is that that benefits me? Oh yeah, I'll show up on time. Yeah, I'll stay in shape and protect you from the whatever and provide for you and make sure the house is safe. You're going to stay in shape and suck my dick? Okay, cool. Yeah, I like you. Yeah. No, I got to play mind games like we're still in middle school to get you to show up to work and for me to not to give you the least amount of pay possible. And I'm going to have you pay for everything by giving you the least amount of sex possible and be a royal pain in the ass. Again, I won't say who is who in each of the scenarios. I won't say, because we're all interchangeable now, right, Democrats? But you're not working together. You're all trying to fuck each other over. Oh, no wonder marriages, 86% of marriages either end up divorce or miserable. Modernly, increasingly so, you're all mentally ill. Yeah, now I gotta have to be constructively critical. Okay. Let's say Gen X and younger, Zoomers, millennials, and Gen X, you're all a little whiny. You got the mental illness of socialism. You believe you're entitled to free shit. And you have no idea what real work is. Maybe Gen X does. Maybe the millennials are starting to get around. Oh, hey. Zoomer ain't just young. And a lot of you are like, I got this disability, that disability. I can't work. I don't know. Knock it the fuck off. I swear to God, you know what should be said? Here's why I will critique the employees. Your old man, they don't say it anymore. But old men back in the day says, I'll give you something to cry about. If you're crying as a little kid being whiny, I'll gladly give you young kids something to cry about. You want to see tough times? I'll gladly. We have Cappy boot camp. I'll make you be crying in like the first hour of that boot camp. But then you girls, I got bipolar, I got depression, I have social anxiety. This is the man. I got social anxiety, I got depression, I got this sadness. Well, who the fuck could get married to that? You're all little wobbly, you don't even have bones. You got no spine. You're just cartilage humans walking. Who the fuck could breed with that or form a relationship rely on that? Employment or spouse. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. And just the delusional dating and educational standards. Both entities, the institution of marriage requires and employers require. And this is where HR gals, all of you just, you're not going to, I know that's your career, it's your passion, and you just get that addiction to having the power and control. You've choked off employment. You made it impossible for average people, let alone Americans, because if we don't do it, we're going to outsource it to overseas. If I can't, although the passport pros kind of do that on their own. Like, I can't find it here, I'm going overseas. So the analogy kind of also applies there. But you have these impossible to meet educational standards. I'm going to go overseas and find it there then. All right. And they lie on their resume. Yeah, sure. I'm sure all those East Indian dudes all have master's degrees from very reputable schools. I'm sure they do. And then the day you expect. Now, we've talked about that. I've got standards, bro. The book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. We looked at all the women's interest in men. I measured women's interest in men. It's very fractional. It's more of a measure of true demand for labor or spouses, right? We have all these education requirements, and if you don't meet them, we're not hiring you. I have all these dating requirements, and if you don't meet them, I'm not dating you. And I think employers kind of like women. They don't really need employees that much, or at least they think they don't. Long term, you're going to find out what happens, but they say, well, we don't need them. And if you don't meet these requirements, we don't need you. To which I'd say, like, okay, if one party is no longer needed, then both institutions fail. Why are we having marriages? And then why do we have a labor market? Now, you're always going to have a labor market, right? But I think the modern day versions of your labor market that we got now, well, you got to get college. And then also the marriage market, where you have an actual formal institution of marriage with rules and laws once you sign the paper, according to government. It is not only is it outdated, it's just way too inflexible for modern Americans in both cases. And whereas the marriage market, that has evolved to where now more people cohabitate. Men are saying, yeah, we're going to go to states that have no common law marriage. Men are really taking the role here. Yeah, I'm not having kids. No, I'm not proposing. Yeah, I'll have a short fling with you. You're going to have your own place. I'll keep my place. Nah, you got kids. You stay over there. So the marriage market has started to flex or what would be a fork. evolve a little bit to more of a commitment market. The labor market, I think we need to have, and it's kind of happened there too. But I think we need to identify that both are obsolete, and then to embrace, accelerate, and then identify new institutions or forms or structures or a market that is more conducive to the modern day incompetent, immature American. But on both sides of both analogies, right? Marriage, we have cohabitation, or we're just going to date. That will kind of take care of itself. The labor market, it really, why painfully slowly, because you boomer bosses just cannot stand younger generations progressing. You just cannot stand it. But the labor market has a lot of potential to become more flexible and evolve to match what Americans are capable of. Like remote work. What the fuck? Why is that even a topic? Remote. I mean, you do what you do. You're a private company, but if people don't show up, right? It's outdated and archaic as having a dowry or a bride price. It's just not happening. We're not showing up. I don't think there should be jobs anymore, right? There's no such thing as W-2 employment. It's just 6 months contract. I think even Sweden and the Romans did it, where you can have marriage contracts that last a certain amount of time, and then they just expire unless you wish to renew them. Really, come on. What's the average longevity of an employee? A year and a half now? Because you boomer bosses and you employers, you corporals just can't fucking not fuck over your employees. Employees have every right to be as disinterested in your long-term career proposition as men do modern day American marriage. They just step back. Oh, I'm not doing this. So why don't we acknowledge it, right? We hate each other. We don't like each other. Our interests are adversarial, not mutually beneficial. So why don't we just dispense with this long-term employee? We're a great corporation, and we here at the Target Corp have the culture of fucking over men and their assholes because we're just so woke and dynamic. Just get rid of all that. We got a job. It's 6 months contracts. It renews in 3 months increments, right? So we get all right, and then it ends, and either you leave or we don't renew it, right? There's none of this bullshit proposition of till death do us part or the 35-year career, and if you stay here, you get fat. No, it's all 1099 employment. There's no W-2 employment. Like kind of how it was back in the olden days. You show up, here's your money per hour. We're done. We're not doing the healthcare and the nonprofit and your 401. No, we're not doing that. It's a 6 months contract. You know, if we really like you, maybe we renew the contract 10 times. You got yourself, what would that be? A 5-year stint, right? Wouldn't that just getting rid of you're an employee, right? I think everyone, and we kind of have that, like the gig worker. Oh, they resort to contractors and they go to the recruiters, and they get the recruiters through what? Robert Half by the Raymond, you having worked, I bet economics Ethan, although he's UK, you guys aren't wrong. Robert Half is fucking cancer. I remember, oh my God, they had a monopoly on all the finance jobs in the Twin Cities. And there's this one fucker I knew who's the gatekeeper, not a chick, but he might as well have been an HR bitch. I know him. I know him. Not personally. I remember his name. That fucker prevented me and a bunch of other people from having a living in the Twin Cities. Oh, I mean, that fucking bottleneck bastard. Robert Half is horrible. But the point is, it's outsourced to recruiters. That's the future, right? Wait. Younger people and people like economics Ethan, myself, Raymond Thoughts and Minds, Josh Fluke, who I have linked below, we've seen it, right? We were at the front lines. We were told a bunch of bullshit from the previous generation. You go find yourself a nice girl and get married. You work hard and you go to school and get straight A's and no master's degree. Can't put a price on college. No, we did exactly as you said. Nothing happened. You old people could, oh, you're going to get married. Oh, no, shut up, boomer. Shut the fuck up. Go away and die now. Okay? Your time is over. The street smart, the smart money is realizing these institutions are outdated. Come on, marriage? Marriage? Are you kidding me? And a career? Like, I sit down and I work for you guys for 35 years and you pay me a pension? Are you fucking joking me? The counterparties are capable of it and they have no interest in delivering that. You are trying to fuck everybody over, paying the least amount out to get the maximum amount of return. And the reciprocal parties, the counterparties, are aware of it and they're having none of it. So let's just dispense with these ancient anachronisms, I believe is how it's pronounced, where our hands are both tied behind our back. Let's just agree. You hate us, we hate you. You're trying to fuck us over, we're trying to fuck you over. Let's do short-term contracts, whether it's marriage or career. All right. Let's just admit it's all prostitution on the dating market, right? It is. It's always has been. It's just we flowered it up a bit with the weddings and procedures and religion and, you know, whatever, anniversaries. No. It was money for sex. That's it. That's all it's ever been. My favorite is like, it's not about the money. It's about stability. So he takes his money and gets you granite countertops and an SUV and then gives you the things. Yeah, that's love. Yes, it is. But if he gives you money, that's bad. And he's a John and you're a Jody or whatever they call a lady of the evening. Yeah, that's bad. That's shameful. He can't get any. But the guy who just gave you, he just bartered, right? He gave you the 401k after the divorce. That was love. But if he gave you cash, wow, he can't get any. What a loser. Let's just admit it, right? You employers don't want to pay a fair wage, right? You don't mind fucking over your employees. Okay? Employees are aware of that. And there's no such thing as long-term stable employment at your institution, right? So let's just go to a 6-month contract basis, right? Be easier. Or a year long or 3, however you want. And ladies, let's just admit, you're not all that excited about the sex thing. Some of you are, especially if you find the right guy. But generally speaking, you will give us the thing if we barter, right? Because that's love. I don't want to say cash because that would be insulting, but here's your house and half my pension and here's a car and I'll pay for your student loans. Oh my God, they're so in love, right? Let's just cut through the bullshit, right? You want us to pay for shit. Deal. Let's just be honest. Let's just be adults about it. And let's also come up with contracts like they did back in the Roman days, right? Now, if kids are involved, we've got to be a little bit more. See, oh my God, don't even get me started about kids. You guys aren't capable of having kids. None of you should be fucking having kids right now. Birth rate in this country should be going the fuck down because you all can't stick together for the kid. That's like adulting on veteran mode, like on death mode. Because now you got to actually think about it. But just for now, it's just the two parties. Let's just admit that both careers and marriages are over. Let's make changes within society and even in the law if required to reflect that. Let's make it easier for us to benefit mutually from one another as much as possible, even though it's an adversarial, competitive relationship and a fuck thy neighbor over sort of way. Let's try and make the contracts reflect the real nature of both parties in both scenarios. And let's just knock it off. Just look, knock it off with the, we here at this, and you come on to the corporate culture family, and we got CP. No, I'm here for 6 months. I hate you. You hate me. All right. Here's my work. I don't like you. Bye. You don't like me. Bye. Right. Marriage, same thing. Although I don't even know why y'all be getting married. I don't think we need a marriage contract. It's just we're going to have sex for a while. And then he's going to say something that pissed me off because I don't know. He voted for Trump or something. I don't know. You know, she's going to get fat. God, so the mountain I climbed was about 7,000 feet. I didn't climb all 7,000. The trailhead was at about 5,500. So it had a 1,500 foot gain. That mountain is not tall enough. I need to go like Mount Denali and yell from that mountaintop and yell so all you boys can understand. They don't like sex that much. So you can hear. That's how tall the mountain I got to yell it on. And I think if we're more honest with ourselves, I think if we all like agree to this, there'll be less damage, less wasted time. I think there's a tremendous amount of emotional energy. Like you try and work really like economics, Ethan. You really try to work hard being a corporate guy. I tried being, go look at my first book. Raymond definitely put his efforts into it. Why? And you girls like, oh, maybe this is the one. Oh, he's just another ripped six-pack Chad guy with a criminal record who deals drugs, and he's not the marrying type. He's just not emotionally available. You get a little strung along by that too, right? I mean, I wouldn't have you dare take a look at Raymond because, the guy's actually pretty jacked, working construction, all that. Oh, he's bald. Oh, and he drives a used truck. Oh, my God. Ew. How about Chad Elkins? He makes six figures. He's even shorter than you, Captain. He's 5'8", 5'7.5", I think. All right. What if he pays you to have sex with him? Will that work? For a contract. Can we get rid of the shame? Then you girls aren't expecting love. You guys aren't expecting a supporting, loving wife. We're not expecting a 35-year career at JYC Corporation. And you guys aren't expecting loyal play. Well, you well, that's not a Target Corporation family member. Can we just admit we hate each other and build a new, like I'm sure in times past, right? America and Canada, like despite the tariff talk and all that, America and Canada, we're friends. Germany and Austria, right? And we trade, right? We willingly trade. We're happy. I'm sure we could say America and China, where the entities are a little bit more politically adversarial, but we still find that it's in our best interest to trade, right? There's been times in the past where maybe perhaps even borderline warring nations, right, would still engage in commerce because it was in their best interest. How about that? Let's remove all the fucking love and the fucking idealism and the fucking bullshit. Like, I'm going to make some profit here. You're going to make some profit here. We don't like each other, but that doesn't mean we couldn't benefit each other, right? What a loving fucking community and country this will be. Already is that cynical. It already is. It's our institutions and our markets don't reflect that. So there you go. Link below. I believe it's the Book of Numbers analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. If you would kindly, let's do this. If you have, we got 225 people tuning in right now. I've been perma-stuck at 127 because YouTube likes to do its algorithm things. They're tweaking something, man. I thought, well, is the red pill getting a little long in the tooth? Are we getting a little experienced and old here? Is it out? It could be. Everything has a life cycle. And then there'd be days where like I get a bunch of subscribers and then nothing. And then I get a bunch of super and then nothing. They're messing with the engine. They're messing with the engine. If you could kindly subscribe. For those of you who's like, I did subscribe, I didn't get the notification, especially if you're on your phone, you got to make sure all notifications like on the phone, on the app, and on your YouTube. It's like 3 freaking layers. That's why you're not getting notified. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you because they think you're a bot. I'm going to do a video about how I'm just not doing the algorithm anymore. I'm really just curious if I will ever get above 127,000. I've been stuck here for forever, man. So if you 228, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. Let's go to the super chat. We got Adam, $2. Cappy, you make sense so damn always. Yes. The greatest liberating feeling was realizing I wasn't wrong. You look out, you see it's a sunny day, and there's a bird. And everyone in my life, up until, well, even to this day, but until I realized they were lying, which was I was about 30, everyone was telling me, no, it's rainy, and that's a flying hippo. I say, but I don't see any rain, and I'm pretty sure that's a bird. That's not a flying hippo. And they say, why do you support National Socialism, Adolf? And once you realize society is lying like a lot, A lot of society and a lot of people, including your parents and your loved ones, because they too are brainwashed by society. When you realize so many people and institutions and organizations and entities within the United States, probably elsewhere in the country too, are lying to you. And once you wake up and realize that, then it's very simple to make sense. It's not a skill. It's not a tactic. Right? The reason I'm a great economist isn't because I'm smart. I just got balls. That's all it is. You want to become a great economist? You just grow a pair of balls and you look at the data and say, there's a .com bubble. Your house ain't worth that much. You got a stupid degree. And then all you got to do is this. When the reeing occurs because you hurt, the most important thing in America is their fifis. Right? You want it? Adam, you ready for an example? Let's go through it. Shall we all go through an example, class? Fat women are gross. Did it take genius to point that out? No. It just is. Fat women are gross. That doesn't mean they're evil. I mean, from a sexual perspective, fat women are gross. Fat men are gross. Fat people are gross. Shall we do that? Be a little more equal? Fat people are gross. I don't care how many people's feelings it hurts. It's still true. The sky is blue, water is wet, and fat people are gross. Now, if all the people in the comments section want to get all me, and you can tell you one by name calling. When they just start calling you names, you're speaking the truth. But you know what? It's so much of a liberating feeling to say fat people are gross. That is not a flying hippo. That's a bird. And it is sunny out. There are 4 lights. And look, I had nothing. All these guys, economics, Ethan, Josh, Fluke, Raymond, we all had careers. They all want us to say there were 5 lights, and that was a flying hippo, and we couldn't deal with it anymore. And especially younger people, you got to realize you have nothing to lose. Oh, they say you got a career and you got a job. You have nothing to. Your girlfriend might go away. You have nothing to lose. She was going to leave anyway. You are not going to have a career. You can't have a society that's full of either conscious, malicious liars or naive people who believe lies, propagating lies. You cannot have that society and have anything to lose in life, because what they promise you is a lie. It was never going to happen. It was never going to materialize. So it's your best effort to, at minimum, afford yourself the nice sanity of saying, no, I'm not believing the lies anymore. No, big is not beautiful. No, that man is not pregnant. That is not a man. That is a woman who took testosterone or something, has a beard. Okay, that's a woman. No, socialism doesn't work. And no, I'm not oppressing you. You're just a lazy sack of shit who's hiding behind a trait you were born with to get free shit. Once you do that, your standards of living go up tremendously, and you're not hoodwinked by false promises and lies. It's not a hard thing. Matter of fact, you'll go get so sick of the fucking lies, you'll just fucking fuck. I enjoy telling truth. I enjoy it because it pisses off all the right people. And if that hurts their fifis, so be it. But I am done. Like, oh, if I got an MBA, then you'd hire me? Okay. Ken Rose, 20 generous dollars. Greetings, Cappy. How can I book an appointment with your friend Chad Atkins? You mean Elkins? I couldn't find a link to his YouTube page. Yeah, because you're spelling his name wrong. Elkins, Elkins. And you can find his email. He's busy with tax season. I'm going to tell you now. I know, Ken, you're a regular guy, right? Tell him I sent you, okay? I'll text him. And I'll text him, expect an email from Ken Rose so he actually answers you. Don't fucking waste his time. He's very busy. No fucking bullshit. All right, that's it. Link below. What is link below? The book of numbers analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. And and I have links to all those channels down below. Give them a subscribe. Subscribe to my channel while you're at it. See if we can get above 127. And that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.